The core practices of world spirituality invite us, demand us, obligate us to move beyond small self. One way of moving beyond small self, realizing the I am, the divine that lives in me, as me, and through me. And we talked about that in our last conversation. Here's the second way to move beyond small self, the kind of narcissistic involvement and belief that my small skin-encapsulated ego is all I am. The second way to move beyond small self, the I, is through knowing that you're there. It's through having a conversation with you. It's through seeing you and opening up to you. When I actually see you and open up to you, I am thrilled. And that thrill of opening up to you creates in me a delight, a pleasure so exquisite, so sweet, that it's virtually unmatched and unsurpassed by any other human experience. And paradoxically, right, the sweetness, the thrill, the exquisite pleasure of opening up to you creates in me the joy of responsibility and obligation towards you. I care about you. You matter to me. If you're suffering, then I'm suffering. If you're not eating, then I'm not eating. If you're starving, then I'm starving. It's the place of being open as love. When I'm open as love, then you become part of, you enter into my circle of identity. That path is the path of face-to-face encounter. It's the path of face. And in the path of face, we see each other. We feel each other. I look at your face and I say, oh my God, I feel your face. So beautiful. And in your face, I sense the infinity of other. It limits my small self. I realize my small self isn't all that is. Now, that path we've lost access to. Usually it happens to people once, twice, three, a few times maybe in a lifetime. You fall in love with someone. So a person falls in love with someone and lives with them for 20 years or 5 years. So they've been opened up by this divine gift. I'm in love. And all of a sudden I realize that I'm not alone and I have this huge caring and commitment and compassion for you. And then it's limited. It's limited and it begins itself to contract because you, who I've opened up to, become part of me. You become part of my egoic identity. Right? So it's me and you now. So we've become, instead of being open through you to all that is, open through you to all of existence, open through you to all beings. I don't open through you, but you become, you're hijacked into, you're adopted into, right, my own small self. So I basically expand my small self to include you. Now I have a slightly larger small self with two people in it. Or perhaps I have, me, you, and my family. Or me, you, and my employees. Right? Those people who affect directly. So what I do is, instead of genuinely opening to you, I hijack you as an it to serve me, and I expand my egoic identity. So that's the danger. And that's usually what happens for most people who don't practice. But if I practice accessing the truth of my consciousness, the inner face of my awareness, I open to you. When I open to you through you, I open to the whole world. I open to everything. In your face, I see the face of God. In your face, I see the face of all beings. The word face in the original Hebrew means inside. Your face becomes my portal to the inside of all reality, in which I realize that all of the others out there are in dialogue with me. They're face to face with me. That we're talking to each other, we're in conversation with each other, and I bow, I prostrate myself, I sing hallelujah, I sing praise to you as other. That's the second path. That path, in the great traditions, was often called prayer. And prayer, right, in the great traditions, meant I pray to the personal face of all that is. Now stay with me, not to the Santa Claus God, not to the cosmic vending machine God, where you put in a prayer, a quarter, and you get a Baby Ruth bar or a Butterfinger, right? But no, prayer meant I open myself up to the wonder of other, the personal face of being that's beyond me. And I experience and feel the full wonder of that personal face suffusing all that is and holding me alive, caring, knowing my name. I live in the presence of that personal face, right? Exploding in a billion different faces and all rooted in that one face, that original face, right? That is all that is. And that feeling that wherever I fall into that face. Wherever I fall into God's hands. Again, the God you don't believe in doesn't exist, right? This sentence, you can feel its truth as an atheist. You can feel its truth, right, as a classical Christian or a Jew or a shamanic practitioner, right? I fall into all that is, which is the face that holds me. I bow before that infinite other. I'm devoted. I do service in devotion to that infinite other, right? The Knight of the Round Table, devoted to the divine feminine. In all of its apparitions, in all of its forms, it's a different path. It's the path of second person. Second person, the personal face of essence, right? Found, incarnate in other, that invites me, that liberates me, that frees me from my loneliness and invites me into communion, in which that communion delights, creates meaning, creates obligation. The path of prayer. And we understand in the evolution of consciousness that when I pray, when I sing hallelujah, hallelujah means hallelujah. Hallelujah means the radical ecstasy and rejoicing in Yah. Yah is the breath. Yah, Yah, the breath of all that is, that lives in other. As I see and feel that breath, right, it invites me, it expands me, it opens me. The second person path. And we realize again in the evolving face of consciousness that I can sing hallelujah, not only to the ultimate, infinite personal face of consciousness, but to all of the refracted prisms, to all of the unique faces that are actually part of that original face. I can open up the old Psalms, or I can write new Psalms, and I can sing them to you. I can sing them in praise of you. I can sing them to you in church. I can sing them to you before we make love. I can sing them to you as making love. The second face of the divine. The path of second person, which moves me beyond the coiled contraction of small self, which changes everything, which makes me sane. I know the true nature of what is. I'm not alone. There's nothing that's apart. There is no separation that's ultimate. Ultimately, we're in relationship. We're face to face.